Republican Senator Thom Tillis has represented North Carolina since 2015 in Washington. And tonight we're taking a closer look at the promises he made to voters. Queen City News chief political correspondent Emma Withrow has his political report card.
Thom Tillis has served as a United States Senator in North Carolina for 8 years. He narrowly won re-election for a second term in 2020.
That you well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you're about to enter. So help you God?
I do.
Congratulations, Senator.
But the senator's career in politics started much further back and on a much smaller scale in 2002, right here in Mecklenburg County. Tillis was pushing for a local bike trail in Cornelius. From there, he was elected to the town's park board and then ran for town commissioner a year later.
In 1998, I decided I wanted to move to North Carolina. Could have lived anywhere in the world, actually. Could have been in management deployments or move anywhere in the world, but I loved North Carolina.
Tillis went on to run for the North Carolina General Assembly and later was chosen to be the Speaker of the House. After almost a decade in state politics, he was ready for more of a challenge and decided to run for Senate against a Democratic incumbent.
So each candidate has been using every resource to reach out now to people, making it one of the most expensive Senate races in history. And joining us this morning on Good Day Carolinas to talk about the race is U.S. Senate candidate Thom Tillis. Thank you.
Tillis won the seat with one of the smallest margins in North Carolina history.
We did it against all the odds, right?
Fast forward to today, he's now a little over a year into his second term.
You know, what I try to do is block out what I think are the distractions at either end of the political spectrum and get things done that I think help North Carolinians and help the nation.
But blocking out either end of the political spectrum can be tough during such a polarizing time in history. Has Tillis kept his promise of reaching across the aisle?
I work a lot with Democrats. I reach across the aisle frequently to work on things that we agree on, and we do it in Judiciary Committee, and Senate Armed Services, veterans, even banking.
Tillis was one of the 19 Republican senators who voted in favor of the Democrats' infrastructure package this past fall.
The bill, as amended, is passed.
That bill included millions of dollars for North Carolina roads, bridges, and more. But ignoring party lines and voting his conscience has gotten Tillis in trouble before, with many conservatives labeling him a rhino, which stands for Republican in name only.
Well, you know, everybody's got a different take on rhino. I say I am a rhino to the extent that I call that a Republican in need of outcomes. I'm tired of talking heads and pundits and people who have never produced a conservative outcome trying to tell me how to actually get a result.
Tillis says the most important thing to him is bringing home solutions and beneficial policies for his constituents. But has he put words into actions to address his voters' concerns?
We've reintroduced a toxic exposures bill in Veterans Affairs Committee to do right by those who were exposed to toxic substances when they were abroad or even at home for that matter. We were successful in getting the Pause for Veterans Therapy Act passed to the President's desk, which is giving more veterans the opportunity to have service dogs, which have proven to be very helpful.
Veterans have been top of mind for Senator Tillis lately after the Afghanistan withdrawal left thousands of vets struggling.
We've just learned that the death toll for U.S. service members has risen.
I spoke with him right after the last Americans left the country, and it was obvious he was shaken up.
No,
it's okay, Senator. Do you want to take a second?
Yeah.
After the dust settled and the headlines faded out of mainstream news, has Senator Tillis remained consistent in his efforts to help veterans and Afghan refugees?
We've made progress. We were very active in our office. We had a list of over 900 people, either SIV holders, American citizens, or people with the green card. And we got several out before we exited the Kabul airport, and we've gotten out more since then.
Senator Tillis has a long ways away until he has to decide whether or not he's running for re-election. So until 2026, he plans on staying focused on securing the southern border, getting the economy back on track, and making national defense a main priority. I asked Senator Tillis for a self-assessment on his performance since getting re-elected, and he said he couldn't give himself a grade because there would always be someone who would disagree. So instead, he hopes North Carolinians will look at the things he's gotten done while in office and form their opinions from there. In the studio, Emma Withrow, Queen City News.